Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the CultureVerse podcast. Tyler has the 1,000 yard stare right now. He has seen a ghost. Um, this episode, we are doing another review over yet another episode of The Last of Us Season 2. We are on episode 6 out of 7. So the next one will be the last of this season, The Last of Us.
It'll be
Um, we've talked about multiple times how they're stretching this into season three. Well, Tyler showed today something that said the director says he thinks it will now extend into season four, as if that's necessary. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about episode six. So we mentioned last week that this episode was going to be heavy on the flashbacks, as we predicted, and that was you know all
that
but
was
10
perfect.
seconds were flashbacks.
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna kick this episode off by saying I I cried.
same.
I cried in this
I
episode.
can't say the same, guys.
That porch scene hit harder than anything this show's given us.
That went. I knew what he was going to say. To still hit.
That was the best acting we've had in this show by both parties. I seriously think that's the best
I
acting we've
agree.
had. Um, Bella Ramsey was incredible in that scene. Absolutely incredible. Pedro literally had me like shaking. Like that was some of the best acting he's done, period. Um, uh, they just continue to show us that like they're competent and they know how to write a script and write
Hmm.
acting, but they're just not going to do it half the time. And I'm getting a little sick of that. But yeah, once again, this just does nothing for our story at all. We could have been including these flashbacks in the episodes we've been having. We didn't just need an entire episode
Like
of
we were so saying.
montages. Like we literally said we should have done. Maybe fuck, we should have directed the show. Um that's what bothers me about this one is we got nowhere again, and the finale's
We
next.
know we literally went nowhere.
No, we literally actually we went about 15 feet further than we were last episode because she walked for 10
That's
seconds.
true. That's true.
But yeah, we're not moving at all. Uh, still, the episode was good. I really enjoyed this episode. I did. I thought it was really good because it was fun flashbacks and it was meaningful and it was great stuff and it was good acting and it was things we've been wanting to see. However, fucking assholes got rid of the hat scene.
Dude, I was so
Disgusting.
pressed.
Caleb didn't
You
get to
So
see
missed
the
it?
hat.
Are
pressed.
you kidding me?
We missed it. Caleb, in the game when they're at that museum, there is a is it a bronchiosaurus? I don't
That
know.
was a Stegosaurus.
There's a stegosaurus, and she goes up and she makes a joke and puts the hat on the dinosaur and starts talking like she's the dinosaur, and it's stupid, but it's funny. And they didn't do it.
Damage.
They didn't do the hat scene. It's sickening, frankly.
Unbelievable.
It's sickening. But everything else was very game accurate, super accurate. Like the whole spaceship scene was really powerful. I loved seeing like that. The whole point of that scene is like show how much of like she's just a kid, bro.
Mhm.
At Soups, she's a kid. No, but really, she's just a kid, and it's like cool to see how she's like imagining it. And this episode was really good. I don't know. I'll let you guys talk. I've been talking too much.
Caleb.
Oh, sure. I'm going to echo what you kind of said, Gabe. I think this is a pretty great episode of television. I think that
Mhm.
I saw people saying that Pedro should start getting some Emmy buzz for this, and I agree. I think this episode kind of solidified that he should at least be in the conversation. I don't know how
Mhm.
Emmys really work, but I saw that he should at least be nominated for something like that. I didn't cry as I know you guys are more like emotionally invested in the
Mhm.
characters than I am. I was more just like, this is really great.
Mhm.
But the question remains: we didn't do anything, and
Yeah.
like nothing happens really. I mean, and as nice as it is to see him deliver different birthday presents for Ellie, it's a little bit like kind of not that interesting. And when it's sequenced just back to back for me, like it was like heartwarming. It was nice, but at some point it was just like we're just sequencing birthday parties, and I just really just was like it wasn't really hitting as hard for me. It was fine. It was cool. Like this when she's doing the space shuttle thing, that was the
Mhm.
best part. But like everything else, like besides the Eugene, Eugene stuff, which I'm sure we'll talk about, was probably the best part of the episode. Quite besides the pork scene, like the actual like events that happened with Eugene. That was really kind of interesting. Everything
Mhm.
else was like cool. We could have gotten that in a 20-second cut in any other episode instead
Mhm.
of it being a 10-minute sequence. To me, it was just like we were doing a little bit too much with like the scenes. It was nice to see again. Like I don't want to take away from the emotional impact of it, but for me personally, it was just like okay. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that as good as this episode is, this shouldn't be one episode. All of these things that happened should have been spread out throughout the show, and
Mhm.
which is a big negative, obviously, as to why we're not enjoying this show very much is because they're not doing it right. So yeah, I agree with that. But the episode was good, really good.
yeah,
It's just so annoying. I just don't get it, man. It's so clear that they're like capable of directing good television, but instead they just have this like it it almost feels like to me it's just becoming a giant money thing, and they're just begging to pull every view they possibly can across 4 seasons at the expense of the show. And I don't want to assume that because that's incredibly malicious. Like that's just saying fuck the game, fuck the fans, like we're just gonna milk every single second of the story just so you guys watch it. And I don't want to think that's what they're doing, but at this point, I can't think of any other reason why they'd be doing this so horribly.
Mhm.
Like, because they're showing that they're capable. Like they're showing like identical shots from the game, emotional shots. So it's not like they're just. It's not like if they were truly wanting to just change things, they wouldn't be using the game content anymore. Like they wouldn't. But they're showing us that they can still do it. So it's like at this point, what are we doing? Like, are we, as a fan of the games, as someone who, The Last of Us was one of the first story games that I ever played, and it was so meaningful to me because I was like, I don't know, I was this young, I was like in like end of middle school, and it was like I'd never even played a story game. My whole life was Call of Duty and Minecraft. Like nothing had ever been meaningful, and I played this story game, and I was
Those
like,
eyes were opened up.
yeah, I was like, holy shit. Like, I just played through what's like a movie. Like, that was meaningful. The characters connect. Like, I don't know. It was just emotional to me because it was like the first story. And then I went back and replayed it a few years later. And then I replayed it again a few years later. Then I played Last of Us 2. And it was like, this game's just very meaningful to me. And it's like, there's so many fans that feel that way, but multiplied by like 50. And they're way more fans than I ever can claim to be. And I can only imagine how they feel. I mean, it's like you're just beating a dead horse at this point. Like you're just the story's not meaningful anymore. You're not moving anywhere. You're pulling every second out of every episode. We've had 4 filler episodes in a 7 episode season, and it's like the story has moved nowhere. But hey, here's an episode that's really emotional and really well acted, and just like the game. So that should make up for it. It doesn't make up for
no.
it at all.
Can you consider where we've gone so far in the season? We we've done nothing. Like
We've
consider
gone
where we
to
started episode
Atlanta.
one. Nothing's happened.
Yeah. No,
Truly,
we've
nothing has
we've
happened in
gone
this.
to the city and that's it.
Only
That's
one
it.
thing has happened, and that was the last episode, the second half of it. That was
Yeah.
it.
What we got the big Joel death and then it was just nothing. Just nothing anymore. Now we just sit here and watch Dina and Ellie do nothing forever and then we get this really emotional episode with all the backstory and then Ellie takes another 15 steps closer to the next building where she probably will have a really anticlimactic cliffhanger in the next episode that hints towards the next season. It's just there's no direction, there's no urgency, there's no meaning, it's all just it's just bait at this point to get you to watch their show. Like
Mhm.
that's all it is. The show went from season 1, an emotional adaptation, to season 2, how can we stretch this as long as we can so more people keep watching? And that's disgusting. Like
The
that's
worst part about it is you don't need to do that. You
no,
can
people were
do what the game
invested.
does, and people will be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People were locked in. Like people want, and if one of your worries is less Pedro Pascal, why wouldn't you then stretch the memories across multiple episodes so you're getting
Yeah,
him in more episodes instead of just, we probably won't see him again. This was
No, he's
probably
done.
it.
I
that's
saw
it.
I saw a thing he like thanked everyone on the set.
So we get one episode of just a montage, which, like I said, I love all those moments, but just one episode of it, and now we're done with it. Like, what are we doing? Why are we in the game? That's how it's not just you don't get every single memory in a 40-minute span. It's
Mhm.
stretched across the game because the memories mean something. They're used
Yeah,
in
they're supposed to
moments
give
where,
Ellie a reason as to why
yes,
she's doing what she's doing, but
Tyler, you might not relate to this as much because Caleb, it's like when we were talking about Broke,
I
how
was
like
just thinking that.
Oh,
Yes,
dude,
that's
same.
exactly what it is. It's how he would use the background to answer a question as to why something's happening. That's exactly how the game does it. And instead, we just get here's episode 6 of every memory she's ever had of Joel, and now he's done. Like uh,
But with
this
one
next
episode left,
episode,
now she's going to be invested in this story.
yeah, now she gives a shit. It wasn't even till it was halfway through last episode she suddenly decided she cared. Like
And it was just so random,
so
just out
now
of the
it's
blue.
like we have a season finale coming up, and I don't give a fuck. Like I don't care.
No, like I
Uh,
think the thing that separates separate or season one to two for me is the fact that season one, every episode felt meaningful and impactful and engaging with the
yes.
story. Every single episode was sequenced so well, and
Hmm.
we have somehow just and sequencing in television shows are so important. Like
Yeah.
you only get 12 shots at it, like especially on a week to week basis. When you have 7 shots and we're just like twiddling our thumbs, like
Yeah.
it's just like at some point you have to get back to how season one's formula was. Every episode had something large happening, something
Hmm.
emotional happening, and something like a theme was shown or a character died or something big happened you can have a discussion about. How many
Hmm.
episodes we've had in the past month where we were like, what do we even talk about? Because nothing happened. Like
All of them. I
Yeah,
like
we're
mean,
kind of just repeating the same thing over and over again, just rambling about how the writers are bad and everything.
yeah, it's just like this is like we need to study how badly
the
this
follow
season was
up.
sequenced. Like I don't understand because how do you go from like did the same people do season one that did
Yeah.
this? Like I just
Well,
don't understand what the vision was. I really don't.
uh, that's the thing that leads me back once again to that theory of they're just stretching it along for money. Like they have to be because like I said, they've proven they're more than capable of making good television. Like season 1 did it, second half of last episode did it, this whole episode did it. Like you have the pieces there, and it's getting to the point where like I still don't like uh why am I blanking on the name?
Of
Ellie.
Bella Ramsey.
Thank you. I still don't like the casting of Bella Ramsey as much, but like it's not even her fault at this point.
No,
Like
they
it's
said
not.
yeah.
I mean, she acted her ass off in this episode. Every scene she was good. Like she acted very well. And then you just go back 2 episodes ago and you're like, man, this shit sucks.
I
Like she
turned
is
on the
terrible.
lights.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be a dad.
Like this
Like,
is how she's supposed to be the entire way through, except a little bit more aggressive.
yeah. Well, that porch scene is like that. Where has that been, bro? Why have we not been letting her do this? Because when she's emotional and like gets into it, it's meaningful. We've only seen 80% of her cracking jokes, not giving a shit about really doing anything to actually get to Abby, and then being afraid like 90% of the time. She's just always scared of everything. Like we've talked about it multiple times, but Dina is more like Ellie than Ellie's is. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like
No, yeah.
I don't get
I
it.
I have a talking point that I kind of what's it kind of hit me that while I was watching the episode last night is just and I think we're probably going to disagree just because I haven't played the game. Just sort of not. I think I'm going to come at this from a disagreeing point. I really I don't know. I think this might be accurate. I really don't like Ellie's character. Like I just don't like how she's written. I
They haven't given
can't.
you a reason to like
I
her.
can't like no I
I don't
can't.
blame you.
I all she's seen in this episode specifically too is how I just didn't agree with a single thing she did, like with the Eugene stuff and how she handled the moving the bed and how she handled that stuff. I get she's kind of like she's a teenager. I get
That's
it,
the
but
thing.
I
Yeah.
can't, for some reason I just cannot. I just do not like her character at this point, and I really hope she's like redeemed in some capacity in the next season or the season after that. But as it stands right now, I'm just gonna be honest, guys. I really just I can't really connect with her character. I can't.
No, I don't
I
blame
will
you. If I was
I will
trying,
say in the game, it's kind of like that. Well, I do disagree with you.
I
well,
that's
I do
yeah,
too, but like coming from his perspective with what
Yes.
he has seen, I don't blame him in the slightest.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
if I didn't play the game and I started watching the season, I would agree with you, Caleb,
Yeah,
completely.
for sure. The game does the same approach. I mean, she's this really moody teen. You don't like how rude she is. She's very like unnecessarily over the top to Joel. Like, especially with when he pushes, I can't think of the guy's name, onto the
oh
ground.
yeah,
Yeah, that guy.
she doesn't she freaks out on him. Like,
Yeah.
bro, that was so valid. Like, maybe you didn't need to truck the guy, but she like loses it on him. And
Well,
she's like, I had Seth
in the
under
game he
control.
doesn't truck him, but still the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
concept.
She's like, I had Seth under control. You did? Because he just called you a slur in front of everyone. Like, I don't really think she did. But either way, like in the game, she's also very like passive aggressive, very, very all that's the same. But the redeeming quality is watching her get the revenge for Joel, which we're just not doing that. We're not watching her do anything. So like there is redeeming qualities, and it's kind of her realizing that she was an ass to him and now wanting to get revenge. Like
Yeah.
that's the redemption, and we're
Yeah.
not redeeming. We're just watching her, like Tyler said, sit there and yell about turning on the lights and then making a joke every episode. Like nothing is there's zero sense of urgency from her character.
Yeah.
None. Like
Mhm.
we should be we should be so much further than just her taking out Nora. Like, I'm glad we got there to the Nora scene. We should be way further
If I stand
in
corrected,
her arc.
we should need like what 2 or 3 more episodes to really get where we should be.
Probably, I would say maybe more. If those 2 or 3 episodes were effective, yes.
Yes.
Like if it wasn't just more
If we're basing it
bullshit,
off these storytellers, we're gonna need like 8.
cancel the show. You're
We're
not
gonna
gonna
need at
make it.
least 7 more
There's a reason
seasons.
there's a fourth season coming along.
Yeah, that's because which is bad because that means they
Dude,
are.
season three is gonna be a chore. God.
I do think, if I remember correctly, I do think the second half is longer
It is
than the first half, so it makes sense from a timing standpoint, but
fair.
this season's not helping at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
And guys, the reason I can't is the point that happened is the Eugene story, the end of it. I get the point of it, but really, I completely disagree with like I see why she did it. She was being honest, and I know that's like the whole thing with like she knew that Joel had done that, and she wanted confirmation on the porch scene from him to get past the lies. But for some reason, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like my inner Jack is coming out here. I was so mad that she told the
Like
therapist.
interject.
Oh, I was like, what are you? I thought you were talking about her saying that she wanted to let Eugene come back. I
No,
was
no,
like,
no.
what are you mad about that?
When
When
she
she
tells the
told
truth.
her, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just like
Oh yeah.
that was the biggest example of like just childish anger.
I
Just,
was so mad at
I mean,
that.
just so childish, like so childish. But I mean, I do kind of one thing I do like about that decision is it does tie together with earlier in the season when the therapist somehow because we were like, how does the therapist know that he killed her?
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that tied it
No,
together.
I like that whole sequence. I mean, that was
That whole scene was really good with
Oh,
Eugene.
yeah, it was really intense and
That
cool. But I
that
just
got
thought,
me very emotional as well when he like was looking over the lake and that was super emotional. But like I'm not gonna lie, I'll see what you guys think about this. I'm 100% on Joel's side there. I don't care if he has enough time to make it back. I'm
oh,
not bringing him
they have
around the camp.
protocols.
You just
I agree.
can't. Like that's the goal. You just can't do it. Like
He got bit. If they walked up and they saw that he was bit, they would have probably shot him on spot.
he
Probably. So
Joel was gonna. Joel
yeah,
was ready to. But like I get what he's saying. Like the husband. I get what Eugene's saying. Like I get it. It's emotional. It's sad. That's the world they live in. Like you don't get that. Like and I love actually if anything I see Joel as more human by telling him about how if you love someone you can always see him. Like and bringing him to that lake to kill him there. He could have done it right there in the middle of the woods. But like
yeah.
Joel is human. Like he's a human. He's a good guy. Like there's a lot of people who hate Joel, like hate him because one, the ending of Last of Us One, that he chose to
Okay.
save
Yeah.
her instead of like they just hate him for that, absolutely hate him. And then I've seen people like already I've been seeing TikToks on his decision here to kill Eugene. Like I don't have a problem.
No, it's
I
protocols.
understand. And that's also good writing in the first one, by the way, because it makes you like debate. What would you do in his situation? Would you have let them kill your daughter? I don't think I would. Like, I understand
No.
why he did it. Like, that's the point. And one thing that I'm off on a whole different rant right now. One thing that also threw me off a little bit was the porch scene when she says, could they have made a cure? And he says yes. They don't know that. They
Yeah.
don't know if the cure would have worked. They don't even know if they could have made it. The doctor was a veterinarian.
I saw a lot of discourse on this on Twitter. Is that in the beginning of season one, apparently they say there's no cure anyways. It's a fungal to cure. It's a fungal disease. There's like
Mhm.
no way.
That's kind of what I'm gathering as well. But like, and even if there is a cure, we're a little past using cures. Like, what are you like? Are you gonna capture the zombie and cure them? Like, that's not
At some
easy.
point, it would just be like a vaccine, and you would just be like, "Don't die."
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's like it'd just be like what Ellie's situation is, where
Yeah,
she's like,
don't
I'm
get
not afraid
eaten.
to get, she's not afraid of being bit, but she's afraid of being ripped in half. Like that
Yeah,
still happens. So like at what point is a cure even helpful? Like we're kind of past that. And I get for her especially like why she's upset. Like she's searching for this bigger meaning, this bigger purpose. And that's a pretty big purpose. But like I don't know. This is what I meant by I'm off on a different rant because now I'm like arguing about the morality of Joel because I just love Joel. But like uh, it's just so well written in the game, and that came out in this episode with the way he treated Eugene, like taking him to that lake, and like I just love that. And honestly, some people were mad about the Pedro casting. I, I think he's doing phenomenal.
Yeah, he's doing great.
There could have been better. A lot of people wanted kill what's that guy's name from Game of Thrones?
Pedro
Nicholas
Pascal.
Nick no. It's like
Yeah,
Nikolai.
Nikolai West. Yeah.
Yes. He plays Jamie.
Ugh. The
People
Pedro's
On
way
people
better.
have also said
the
Hugh Jackman.
picture, the looks are insane. But
I suppose with a darker. He has blonde hair though.
I've
Man's never
I'll
heard of
show you.
dyed
Okay,
hair.
I'll show
fine,
you.
but like,
I'll show you a photo, Caleb. I've seen a bunch of. I'll
okay,
actually send it to
all
you.
right.
But
Um, another talking point is just like I saw something on Twitter too, and this is just me guessing. I guess you guys will take guide the discussion to us.
Mhm.
Apparently, she's not supposed to forgive him or start trying to forgive him on the porch. I saw
No, she's
some.
No,
that's
she
about word
quoted
for
it.
word.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right. I
that was
thought I saw
quoted
someone. I
perfectly.
thought I saw someone saying like she's supposed to like not like try to start forgiving him before that moment.
Mm.
I don't know. Again, this is kind of just like
I'm pretty sure
There's
that porch scene was like 1-to-1.
yeah, no, the porch scene was like identical, but there's probably signs in the game that show her trying to be more forgiving and it not working, and then that scene happens. But like, that's that can confrontation on the porch is like the first time that they obviously it's the first time that they are honest about it, and
yeah,
it's like word for word with the I can't forgive you for this, but I'd like to try. Like that's word for word, like
yeah.
perfect. But I I
No,
mean. I don't know. I guess I don't exactly remember every aspect of the
no,
game.
it's and I'm just trying to.
You know,
I
gotta
saw a lot of
replay it.
stuff. I saw
Yeah.
a lot of stuff
Oh
on Twitter
no. Gotta play it
today
again.
that there's like different talk think pieces about the show so far. So
Yeah, I guess. I
I
mean,
also heard that he doesn't say "I love you" in the game.
I don't think he does either.
hmm.
Someone said
But
it's more like an unspoken, and he
Well, that's
says
the
it.
part
he,
that
he
made me
does
start
say
crying
that if
the
he had the
hardest.
second chance, he would do it again.
Yeah, that's the also minor thing. They did take out Joel Miller is a fairly religious man, and they did take that out. He
What part?
says
Oh,
he says in that scene, he says something about if God knew,
Yeah, if God gave me a second
if
chance, I
God
would.
gave me a second
oh,
chance, I would. Small thing, but as a member of the Christian community,
As a
I was
member.
as a member of the Christian community, I was like, all right. It's like, okay, we didn't need to get
run the scene again.
So she's gonna be
okay.
a dad.
Do it again. Yeah, instead of 2 episodes ago, I got her saying she's gonna be a dad, so that's sick. Now, of course, now I can't find the picture. Oh, there we go. I found it. Kill. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
Bro, spoke it into existence.
I did. I literally just spoke it. I was like, nah, it's not
Oh
gonna show
no,
up.
like that's like when you look away from your game and it's loading forever, and you're like,
There you
oh,
go.
I don't care anymore.
Paul George moment.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay,
What
I
number was it? 37
that's
where
pretty
it's
good.
stuck?
The look at least is very accurate. I mean,
Yeah, I can
his
see the
acting is
eyes for
probably
sure.
not as good as Pedro.
The eyes. Good to
His
know.
acting's definitely not. Pedro is like a top actor in the agency in the acting world right now. Like he's incredible. So like I
I would
like this.
struggle to see Nikolai as Joel. I think he's more.
It
I
would be
guess
weird.
it's just Game of Thrones where he's just more of an arrogant
Yeah. A lot of
person.
people wanted Hugh Jackman as well, which was interesting. The look was fine, but like he's probably two at the
I
time.
could
Pedro
see
wasn't
it
as hot.
maybe.
I think Pedro's really good.
I do
Pedro's
too.
been great. Like I love how Pedro's been, but
Yeah.
I don't know. This episode is just weird. It was like if I ignore the frustrations from the last several episodes and just take this episode by itself, I really enjoyed
Oh
it.
yeah.
Like I really did. But then you get that little 10 seconds at the end where she's walking again. You're like, oh shit, we're back to this garbage.
Oh
Like
shit, there's an
we're back
actual
to
story.
oh, oh
Fuck.
shit, we're back to the we're back to the main plot. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
She did too, I guess. But uh, I don't know, man. I'm just we keep saying this, but like I just don't care anymore. Like I'm so unemotional about. And I know I said I cried in this episode, but like I'm talking about like the story. You lost me. We still haven't seen Tommy in 47 years. I don't know where he is anymore.
We saw him as a
Watching
little
baseball.
boy.
Oh yeah, true. Hey, that was not in the game, and I loved that addition.
Oh, like
But
at the
The
beginning
whole
of the
thing with
episode.
like them as kids and his dad.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Great
that was
That
good.
was
addition. And I
great.
love how he tied it into the to the porch scene.
Oh,
Oh, that made me emotional.
that
That
hit me.
got me good.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good. That
That
was really
was
good.
awesome. That's how you add things without taking away from the story. But we don't even do
No,
this.
that's like a Last of Us. They do that all the time. They'll like have an intro scene that makes no fucking sense, and then it ties back into like it was like last episode where it was like this random woman. She's like B2, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then they're like, as soon as she drops the elevator, it says B2. I was like, oh, look at that. I
They
feel
also did the one with Isaac, his backstory in the beginning, where he's like
yeah.
randomly like a soldier, and then you find out later that he's like the leader of the
They do that all the
Rebel
time.
Lab.
Well, that's in the game. Well, not
Mhm.
that scene, but like you
I
open
no,
the
yeah,
truck
I
and
remember it
you have
is.
dead soldiers. So I
That's
I
what I'm
just
forgot
saying.
meant
about
like
Like
it's just
Last of Us
awesome.
always does that.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really curious how this finale is going to be. Like, if it's going to end on a cliffhanger, if it's just not going to go anywhere, if it's going to be
supposed to end on a
garbage, if it's going to
cliffhanger.
be like, I don't know anymore. I don't.
There is serious dog shit potential.
Watch season 3 actually be the ending of the first half of Last of Us 2, and
Yeah, they
season
just get to
4
that
is
point,
the second half.
and then they need season 5 to finish the story.
Stop.
Bro, 4 seasons for one game is actually ridiculous, by the
And,
way.
and by then, The Last of Us 3 will have come out.
Wait,
Then they're gonna have to adapt it.
are you telling me that the game ends on a note that it could continue the story game?
You could. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, but you could spin off, which I do think Neil Druckmann already said that they are probably gonna make another game.
When did the second game come out?
Oh, 20.
2020?
That kind of sounds right. I thought it was like last of.
Pretty sure it was quarantine because that's when everybody was playing it. That or 2019, one
I
of the
think
Like,
it's
two.
yeah,
20.
Christmas of 19, maybe?
Yeah, it's 2020. June 19,
Yeah,
2020.
I'm like
Just
that.
kidding.
Still like that. Yeah, no. I have heard that they're discussing making a third game, which
Yeah, I heard that if
I'm
they
all
do,
for
it's
it.
supposed to be like a Tommy spinoff type of thing.
Stop.
Hmm.
Dude. Oh, wait, no. This is,
What? That doesn't spoil
you're right.
anything.
You're right, spinoff. I thought I was taking that as Tommy after the game. I was like, bro.
No, no, it'd be like it could either be a prequel or it could be anything. So yeah,
It could be, yeah, before it could
maybe
be how he
there's
met all the people in Wyoming. You never
Yeah,
know.
it's just a family drama before with Sarah.
may-
Just them hanging out.
well, there is also the
There's an
like
entire scene of them making the baby.
there, there's also like the 20-year gap in between the apocalypse and
True. Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
So
opening to Boston.
they
Yeah.
could probably explain that if they wanted to.
They're gonna Star Wars
There's a
this
lot of stuff they
franchise.
could dive into.
There's
Yeah.
gonna be every minute has a movie or something tied to it.
Yep.
Star Wars?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm saying like how Star Wars, like after Revenge of the Sith, there's at least every day of the calendar year has a movie or a show tied to
They've
it.
already filled out the entire area in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope right now.
Yeah.
Insane. That's insane. Well, if you guys don't really have anything else to talk about, we can go ahead and wrap her up.
Yep.
Well, I mean, let us know if you guys are disagreeing at this point. We've been fairly I don't know, fairly harsh on this show for the last couple weeks, but we feel
Valid.
justified.
It's valid.
Yeah. But I mean, this episode was nice. It was fun, but it just didn't hit. So, final thoughts and ratings. Caleb, you want to start?
Sure. I think we talked about this all episode. I think this is a pretty good episode of television. But the fact that of the matter is that it's just not really. We don't have a direction, and this whole episode should have been cut and spliced into different moments in time in the original 6 episodes. Heartwarming. It was nice to see some more memories. Of course, the scene that everyone was talking about. I did give it a 3.5. I did think it was probably a top 3 episode of the season. But again, 3.5 solely on emotional value, and that's literally it. So
Yeah. It's a bittersweet reminder whenever they do something good because they continue to show that they're capable of doing good episodes, despite the garbage that we've been getting. So I love this episode from a solo standpoint, but then the second they hit you with the little short clip at the end of Ellie walking, you were reminded of the horrible main plot that we're just not progressing along with. So I'm just gonna look at this episode of how much I enjoyed it straight up from the emotional factor and the episode itself. So I gave this one a 4 out of 5. I really liked this episode. However, I'm about done with this show. I'm just I'm not having fun.
Yeah, I see this pretty similarly to Gabe as well. The episode itself is pretty damn good. It hits too much. But when this entire episode is supposed to be spread out across the entire season, and it simply hasn't, um, which hurts the story tremendously. Um, and it, yeah, this, like you just said, this is a real struggle to get through, and I don't even know what to think for episode 7. I don't even know anymore. So I gave this also a 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's episode 7 is gonna be interesting.
oh god, I'm actually kind of excited to see how
I
bad
was
it can
just
be.
about to say
How bad can they
that.
fuck this up?
Yeah,
Isn't that
seriously.
crazy? Instead of being like imagine telling that to one of the directors, like, dude, we're stoked for this finale. Really? Yeah, we can't. We don't know how it's gonna fuck up so bad. Like, we can't wait. Like, how are you gonna make it so bad, dude? Like, well, the episode's it's gonna like Saturday's gonna roll around. I'm gonna be like, oh, holy shit, Last of Us finales tomorrow.
If they stop,
Yes.
if they show for even a second, like a lingering shot, I'm gonna throw my phone through my TV.
They're gonna, you know what we're gonna see? I cannot wait for them, for Ellie and Dina to go into a building somewhere and sit down and just have a conversation for.
Oh god, I was just thinking that they're gonna have like a
I
romantic
Ellie, if
can't
dinner.
Ellie
Oh
makes a
wait.
god.
stupid ass joke, I swear to God.
She's going to, yeah, she's gonna be like,
She's
I
gonna
don't
pull
know,
out her dad pun joke
yeah,
book and just go
she'll
off for
go, she'll
30
go up
minutes.
to. I cannot wait for her to go up to Jesse and be like, "So I'm gonna be a dad of your kid now, huh?" Like, I just cannot wait for.
Nudges him on the
Oh
side.
no.
So, fathers, huh?
Oh, you want the
Happy
stepdad title or is that mine?
Father's Day is coming up. You get me something?
I got you something.
they're
Just the most ridiculous shit. Like I
gonna do
don't
that. They're gonna do the hat scene next week.
just
Yeah,
for no reason.
drop it. They're just gonna drop it in the middle.
An alternate hat scene.
Instead, Ellie's gonna just put the hat on Jesse. Just
Oh
the hat on
god.
Jesse.
It's not even the dinosaur. She just finds a hat. She's like, "Come here, Jesse." Bonk.
Oh no.
Well, somehow
That's
we've
better story writing than they can come up
somehow I think we've now managed to talk ourselves into being excited for this
We're
episode. We did better than this show
gonna
did.
start the episode next week like this. Just completely blank face, like
What's going on, guys? They did it again. So
the
Tommy,
Last of Us finale was
Tommy.
crazy.
So in this one, they I don't know, they killed Tommy. I don't know why. No reason. Ellie's I don't know. Ellie's like I don't know, man. I'm just not looking forward to this, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys for listening as always. Definitely tune in to the finale episode.
And our
It'll be
episode.
interesting. But thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next time.